back. Back with some serious conversation today. We'll be talking about the female, her rules, the hero, our woman, the queen. Who is she? What is she? Maybe we're ready. I don't know if we're ready for this one. Exploring who we are through her. Are we war? No, we don't get it. Still, can't be nice about giving this knowledge. It's going to hurt feelings. It's like tired of pussyfooting around. So I hope we can get ready for this. How flattering and insulting to our egos this can be. Okay. So of course I had to put a few things down to remind me how this has to go. So what we're talking about today, folks, is our female. The female. Okay, even our words are not perfect, so to get this perfect would be something I wouldn't think would happen just right now. But to explore discovery as a man, I was taught as a boy to grow, and be a man. So I sought out images of a man. I sought out men that I admired to try to emulate. I saw this God they talked about was a man's image. So I sought after, became a man of men, an alpha male, a macho military, ran the Marine Corps type of male. I was strong and diligent and unyielding, tough, proud of these accolades. Something happened to me, folks. I don't know what happens to everyone else, but I remember third phase Marine Corps boot camp. When I had conquered all that was in my way and was the alpha epitome of the top of the mountain. Pugily, it was a pugil stick arena time. And I said to myself, is this all to it, this macho stuff? And that's when she revealed herself to me, within me. That's what I said. We are talking about divinity. We are talking about our internal muse. Each man has to become a man in order to accept and integrate himself with his highest nature, which is her. This is the hero. This is her rules. This is hearts. This is wholesome. The opposite of self makes us whole. Our highest nature is her. We have been getting it all backwards by design, folks. It is a woman's world. She moves in spheres and circles. He moves in straight lines. Both of these mentalities make up our whole mentality, which is called divinity. Now, these things are not easy for us to comprehend. We're generally Frankensteins anyway. Excuse my French, but it's really, we're made people. Your mind was given to you, unless you did some work to get it. To get the real one of nature, which follows all laws of nature. I gotta tell you, so all law is all laws of nature. This is the true way of I self-law and mastery. However, a woman is everything. We all come from her. You ever see anything come out of a man's rib? Come on now. We all come from the womb. We as men are here to serve our woman. We may not have our woman anymore. She may be the government's woman now, but we have lost our place of protecting and providing for her because we are the prisoners here. Wake up, folks. God is government ordinance. The only people don't know that is just us, and that's your Jesus. Just us. Fool. Tricked. We don't want to hear it. We're too comfortable. Us guys, so tough. Thinking that we're the ones that's the epitome of everything. The only way that is if we are connected to our highest nature, which is her within us. We must get this first. So we become divine. Not just a half-wit male. Ego. Not seeing her. The same way I sought after to emulate men to become a man. I had to also sought after her. To emulate her to become divine. And not just chase her tail and stay under the spell, never see too well. The woman has always been the ruler when her king is standing. You get me? She is a queen when her king is standing. How many of you play chess? You see how powerful the queen is when her king is standing. See, we get these things confused because we have women, but they're not our women. Most cases, they're not even their own woman. They are owned and given their minds by government ordinance department. We call it God. Hello, folks. Wake up. Stay with me now. We as men are here to serve and protect her, the queen. But we already missed that job or we lost that job, we've already been defeated by her as the Moors. This white woman, concubine, was in our bed. Our culture bequeathed our riches over to our sons, who were no longer purely our bloodlines. There's so much more in this, so much more. I have to bring it out again, folks. All these things in my book, Culture Shock, Awareness, by Aseer, Elohim, Tarik Bey. Okay? My true name is Aseer. See? Osiris. That means ripped apart and put back together by his mother. Okay? Back into a lion's den. That's Neo, the new mind. Of elevated, guiding light. The Elohimic guiding light. Now I'm saying more to you. These things are tricky because our minds are tricky and we are very, very, very confused. We are here to protect her. She didn't come out of our ribs. We came from the womb. Specifically, each male must know her within himself first. And I ain't talking about being gay. I'm talking about being whole as the child before you were told you were a boy or a girl. You've been dissected mentally. Once he knows her within himself, he is able to be whole and complete and be divine. This was the nature of our ancestors that were called the gods, because divinity is the only God nature, which is another story, because God is the celestial nature of selflessness that flows through us as a natural current of nature, netter, that rules. We follow the law, all laws, elemental laws of the fire, air, earth, water, ether, which allows us to have the self-mastery coming from Islamic Kemet, not Arabia. Let me say that again. No Arabia, nothing here. Arabia can kick rocks. We're talking about Kemet, ancient Africa, when we were at our highest form. All right, people. Let me get it back onto this woman. Who is she? She is our highest form of humanity. That's who she is, brothers. And if you don't know her within yourself, brothers, you are lost. You are not complete. You're half-wit. So grab a seat. Because Horus, you're talking about her is the hero. The her in you makes you the hero. Horus of the horoscope. All these things is where they copy to emulate this Christ they call, which is our celestial consciousness that works with the set-in personality that we call the double or the devil. I know this is a bit much. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy for us to comprehend our true, natural psychology of nature. This is how we develop what is called the divine mind. I jotted some things down to keep me on course with this difficult conversation. She is the one who must be right for us to be right. Because if she's wrong, guess what, folks? We all wrong. Because we all come from her. Especially, as I said before, us men, us males. To make us complete, we must know the opposite of ourselves to be whole, which is called holy, which means divine, which means you are male nor female. You are androgynous. in your psyche, honoring your temple. We ain't talking about no homo kind of stuff here. I'm not even getting on that. I'm just talking about basically honoring the temple, but knowing the female nature in your mind as a male to make you whole and complete. What is called divine. That would be another story, divinity. Okay? This is the only way to connect to our stellar mind, celestial consciousness, so we can collectively be one as we once was. Because right now, we are all divided, conquered, calling on the Christ, having no knowledge what the Christ is. And Jesus is just us, the ones that tricked. Just us is the ones that believe. Just believe stuff. Because it's convenient. Because we lazy and scared. Afraid. Okay, each religion is another slave boat. What boat you on? Because the Arabic Islam is phony and false. True Islam comes from ancient Kemet. She must raise our children. They've long since destroyed the kings, and they've compromised her, bringing the great curse that we're under now. The curse of the mother what? Mother, shut your mouth. That's right, she's the unconscious catalyst of hell. She looks for a man, but she has never had the opportunity to have a man because she raised boys by her government ordinance she calls God. You got women talking about Happy Father's Day to each other now. Okay? Because they don't recognize that we're prisoners of a war, blackmailed, castrated every way. All we do is think with our ding-a-ling because that's all the hell we got. I'm talking as a whole, collectively now. This is the only thing we try to take pride in. Unless we Uncle Tom. We get the few exceptions or we robbing from ourselves. You know, these slick people out here. These crooked folks. These dark geniuses that steal from their own kind because it's all about them. Hey, it is what it is. She looks for a king, but she's created half-wit men. She complains, where is he at? Where could he possibly come from? He's an endangered, extinct species. Prisoner. Looking to provide when he can't even, have a business of his own. Because his job is slavery. Jobs are slavery. We send our children off to college to go work for somebody else if they get the chance to. We still bid and buy into the system. If our children don't get a job, we still don't put all this into that. I'm not even going to talk about the mothers fully right now. But we have been nothing but murdered and lynched. We are on levels of extinction that is not even known to others because they don't recognize that the real true man is not just a man. He is divinity, a divine being. Outside of that, he's a half-wit, never have arrived, set up to fail. Little do we know, our fall has always been involved how we were treated or how we treated our female. We must protect her in order to excel, but she must know what's going on in order to be the queen. or she becomes the catalyst of hell by not knowing herself and having offspring. Foul. Now she's looking for a man, but she created this situation with help of other situations, but she has become this catalyst. She looks for a man weakened by her own sisters who throw in their derriere or their whatever things they may need to do to create something that benefits them, while we are basically in jail, so outnumbered. So the sisters cut off each other. And the men are just weak. They've been raised by the sisters. Because I know a lot of fathers, but who are we since we've been fathers? What is a father? What is a male? What is a black male? Tell me we not in hell, consciously dead under this government ordinance department spell. Just us. Just us. Folks, Jesus is just us. Okay, back to this. So as like I said, this black male has been murdered. He's basically at a form of extinction. And she still blames him. That she was raised unconsciously and made him just as foul as he is because she is the highest form. As she goes, we go. We still call ourselves black, African American. We are indigenous American. We are from here. She has long since been hijacked, our woman. She's not our woman. She's not even her own woman. She's the government's woman. And she's compromised by glamour and so many things. Even her own mother will compromise her daughter, passing down generations of decadence to keep us harboring, spending our money in the wrong place.